This is a story for all the people who are watching my videos, and if you're gonna like this, you better subscribe, 'cause this one is from the Curious George collection, and it's called Curious George. This is George. He lived in Africa. He was a little good monkey, and always very curious. One day, George saw a man. He had on a yellow straw hat, and saw George too. "What a nice little monkey," he thought. "I would like to take him home with me." He pounded his hat on the ground, and of course George was very curious. He came down from the tree to look at the large yellow hat. The hat had been on the man's head. George thought it wouldn't be nice to have it on his own head. He picked it up and put it on. The hat covered George's head. He couldn't see. The man picked him up quickly and popped him into a bag. George was caught. The man with the big yellow hat put George into a little boat, and a sailor rowed them both across the water to a big ship. George was sad, but he was still a little curious. On the big ship, things began to happen. The man took off the bag, George sat on a little stool, and the man said, "George, I am going to take you to a big zoo in the city. You'll like it there. Now run along and play. Don't get into trouble." George promised to be good, but it is as easy for little monkeys to forget. On the deck he found some seagulls. He wondered how they could fly. He was very curious. Finally, he had to try. It looked easy, but... oh, what happened? There was this, and this. "Where is George?" The sailors looked and looked. At last they saw him, struggling in the water and almost all tried out. "Man overboard," the sailors cried. As they left him a little lifeboat, George caught it and held on it. At last he was safe on the board. After that, George was more careful to be a monkey, at least until the long trip was over. George said goodbye to the kind sailors, and he and the man with the yellow hat walked off the ship onto the shore and on into the city to the man's house. After a good meal and a very good pipe, George felt tired. He crawled into bed and fell asleep at once. The next morning, the man telephoned the zoo. George watched him. He was fascinated. The man went away. George was very curious. He wanted to telephone too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What fun. George had telephoned the fire station. The firemen rushed to the telephone. "Hello, hello," they said, but there was no answer. They looked for the signal on the big map that showed where the telephone was called from. They didn't know it was George. They thought it was a real fire. "Hurry, hurry, hurry!" The firemen jumped onto the fire engines and onto the look and ladders. Everyone out of the way. Hurry, hurry, hurry. The firemen rushed into the house. They opened the door. No fire. Only a naughty little monkey. "Oh, catch him, they cried. George tried to run away. He almost did, but he got caught in the telephone wire. A thin fireman caught one arm, and a fat fireman caught the other. "You fooled the fire department," they said. "We will have to shut you up, and where you can't do any more harm." They took him away and shut him in a prison. George wanted to get out. He climbed up the window to try the bars. Just then the watchman came in. He got out on the wooden bed to catch George, but was too big and heavy. The bed tripped up. The watchman fell over, and as quick as lightning, George ran out the open door. He hurried through the building and out onto the roof, and then he was lucky to be a monkey. Out he walked onto the telephone wires. Quickly and quickly over the guard's head. George walked away. He was free. Down in the street, outside the prison wall, stood a balloon man. A little girl bought a balloon for her brother. George watched. He was curious again. He felt he must have a bright red balloon. He reached over, tried to help himself, but instead of one balloon, the whole bunch broke loose in an instant. The wind whisked them all away, and with them went George, holding tight with both hands. Up, up he sailed, higher and higher. The houses looked like toy houses, and the people like dolls. George was frightened. He held on very tight. At first the wind blew in the great gusts, then it quieted. Finally it stopped blowing altogether. George was very tired. Down, down he went. Bump! On the top of a traffic light. Everyone was surprised. The traffic got all mixed up. George didn't know what to do. And then he heard someone call, "George!" He looked down and saw his friend, the man with the big yellow hat. George was happy. The man was very happy too. George slid down the post, and the man with the big yellow hat put him under his arm. Then he paid the balloon man for all the balloons. And then George and the man climbed into the car, and at least away they went. To the zoo. What a nice place for George to live. Hi guys. Welcome back to Storytime Mania World 4 with your host Xander Atisano. Alright, so there will be more Curious George books coming out on the channel. If you're interested in that, subscribe. I will still do the Mr. Men and Little Miss books, and these special ones too, over Christmas and Halloween and Easter. Alright, also, hope you liked the video. Comment down in the comment below. Alright, bye-bye. See you in the next episode.